reserve time.
Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu, and I'm bringing you guys this random scrimmage between two teams that have a grudge against each other. One team lost one, the other team has won one, and we're going to see who is going to come out on top in this game. I am your host, CulBlu. I think I have a co-caster, I'm not sure, so I'm just going to pretend I don't have one, and I'm going to find out after the draft if I do have one, because I'll ask. But Dragon Drop, he did join me for the last game, and he decided to go eat dinner because food is important for doing human. Because we're all human, you have to do human stuffs every once in a while, like eat food, take a poop, or take a shower, walk your dog, pay your bills, or whatever, something like that. So he's gonna do one of the above, and have a bunch of fun doing that. But this is a game, like I said, of two rivals staring at each other, saying, "Bro, I'm better than you," and the other one's trying to prove to the other one that they are actually better than the other one. I don't know. That analogy got weird really fast. So without further ado, this is team Expomedius or Expomedius versus the Wicked Pandas. And judging by the bans and picks, these guys either have some very nice target bans or target picks, or they're here to have fun. Which I think they're just here to have fun, which is always great to watch because you get to see some unusual strategies, such as a Bane Leshrac, which is a combination that I think I've seen before, but I don't think I've seen it any time in the past, like 6 months or something like that. Basically, Nightmare into Split Earth is really nice, but all that said, is kind of expensive. Nightmare is not the cheapest ability to use, and Split Earth is not the best ability to use just for a single target stun, but it should help him get that stun off. But anyway, moving on to the other side of the Wicked Pandas, they have the Rubik plus a Shadow Shaman picked up. That'd be some nice supports to follow up on top of everything. The board is pretty much wide open for them to go for whatever they want to, but I will go ahead and call it now that they might be going for a Lycan, because last time I seen a Shadow Shaman and a Rubik picked up,
10 seconds remain.
they were on the team with a Lycan and a Nature's Prophet, and those two are still in the pool. So hopefully Expomedius are going to ban out one of those two people and just face the music on the other one. Although that said, Lycan versus a Bane, that's going to be a nice matchup. Bane should be able to control Lycan enough, even if Lycan pops his ult or does whatever he wants to become a super powerful wolf that kills things. He should have fun. Should have fun with that. Let's go ahead and take a moment to talk about the bans, because Expo, they actually have some really interesting bans, like I stated before. Bloodseeker first ban, Luna second ban, third ban Weaver, and fourth ban Anti-Mage. Once again, Anti-Mage's not going to be getting played in this game. He's getting denied every single game, which I'm actually a little bit sad, because they were like trash talking about Anti-Mage a little bit earlier, saying, "Oh, I got the best Anti-Mage in the world." And it's like, "No, you don't. You can't play Anti-Mage better than me, bro." It's like, "Bro, come at me, bro." But sadly, Anti-Mage gets banned out, so we'll never know the truth, guys. We'll never know the truth. But the Bloodseeker ban is actually an interesting one, because usually he's completely ignored once you get to like the big, super important win $1 million here tournament games. But it's also refreshing to see him banned out, because that means that Expo might be going for something unusual, such as Leshrac, which you don't see picked up all that often. And on the flip side, the Wicked Pandas actually banned out the Death Prophet, Meepo, and a Doombringer, which Doombringer and OD, they're standard. We see them all the time. But a Meepo and Death Prophet, you don't see Death Prophet as much as you used to, and Meepo, you don't see him usually at all, unless somebody's really good with their micro, really good at using that Meepo to do some cool things. So maybe the Wicked Pandas know something way more than CulBlu knows. Maybe somebody on Expo are really good at Meepo, or maybe they just use a random ban. Who really knows? So the pickup that's going to come out from Expo is actually going to be a Sven, which is actually kind of interesting to see. You have a Leshrac, and you have a Bane, and you have a Sven. That's a lot of setup for everybody's stun. Essentially, Sven, he throws his stun, and I don't think it can be disjointed, so he can throw it and hit a stun on top of somebody, maybe hit like 2 or 3 people, and then Leshrac can very easily follow up with a stun of his own. And while all that's happening, let's say between Sven and Leshrac, they catch 3 people with their stun, so that's like, 2 seconds plus 1.5 seconds? 2 seconds plus 2 seconds, okay. So 4 seconds of stun between the 2 of them on 3 people, and then Bane can disable 2 other people for roughly the same amount of time. Nightmare lasts for 7 seconds, and the Fiend's Grip lasts for a whole entire 5 seconds, so the whole entire team can be disabled just by 3 people. That is a very scary thing, and I'm going to be excited to see if Expo can get the little, wombo combo off between Leshrac plus Finn and then Bane disabling 2 other people, because that'll be really nice to see. like I said, we get to see some refreshing strategies, and Leshak's Finn, that might be the next meta. That might be new meta, guys. Like hashtag breaking the meta. But we'll just have to wait and see. And speaking of waiting and seeing, the Wicked Pandas taking their sweet time picking up the next person, and I think it's mainly because they know if they let Wuss go through, then Sven might be having more fun than he should be. Sven Wuss is a thing. Sven Wuss is very scary, and Sven Wuss does hurt a lot. But all that said, I like Tiny Wisp better than Sven Wuss. So we'll have to see what they decide to go for. Actually, Wicked Pandas pick up a Bristleback, and Bristle Wisp can happen too, but I don't like it as much as the other aforementioned Wisp combinations. So we'll see if Expo decide to go for the Wisp as another support, and they'll likely put Leshak at mid, so that way Bane plus Sven plus Wisp can go tri-lane. And once again, a mid Leshak is something I haven't seen in a long time. Like, it's like ever since they added in the animations for Leshak, you stop seeing these typical mids. I think Leshak used to be a mid, Rubik used to be a mid. Who else? Oh, Darkseer used to be a mid from time to time, but I don't know what they did. Oh, they nerfed his vacuum. That's what they did. But Expo actually decided to go for a Nyx Assassin, which is pretty darn interesting. I'm trying to figure out the legitimizing the legitness. That's what I'm looking for. The reason, right, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to figure out the reason behind the Nyx Assassin. I do foresee him being able to have an impact versus his team, because Bristle really needs his mana to do things. Luckily, he's not an intelligence hero, but his intelligence gain, I think, is like 4 or something, which is ridiculous as crap for a strength hero. And Rubik and Shadow Shaman, they're going to just melt all day long to a Nyx Assassin mana burn. So that's something to be concerned about. Something to be concerned about. So Nyx Assassin should be able to have some power as far as controlling people, making sure that Bristleback doesn't have mana to spam his stuff and be annoying, making sure that Sven can have an easy time lining up his stun, and make sure, well, Bane and Leshak can do the same exact thing. Line up their stuns based off of Nyx Assassin's stun.
10 seconds remaining.
So I would say, as of right now, Expo are kind of... Their lineup seems weird, their lineup seems strange, but they're in a little bit of a stronger position. Mainly because they have more control over the Wicked Pandas. And the Wicked Pandas lineup, it seems to be, is relying all around Bristleback doing his due diligence to survive and kill everybody at the same exact time. And let me tell you guys, Bristleback versus Diabolical Edict, you get so many free cool sprays and not even funny, but you lose so much HP so fast that it's equally not as funny. So we'll just have to wait and see how these guys decide to lane things out and how they decide to play them. But I will, like I said before, say that Expomedius kind of have an easier time controlling the game, easier time doing things. And I foresee Wicked Pandas, they're more execution based, whereas Rubik has to steal the right spell, Shadow Tom has to drop his Surfer once at the right time before he gets chain stunned to death, Bristleback has to make sure his back is facing Sven when he's punching him, Ember Spear has to make sure he's running out. It's like so many little things, whereas Expo, all they have to do is, they all have to hit Q, and then they just all right click. I mean, that's almost literally what they do. Except for Bane, he has to hit W and R, but close enough. So to add some flair to things, they pick up an Invoker on Expo's side, so I'm excited to see how this works out. Because a cross-flex Invoker, plus everything else that they have, is going to be really nice. But I do like the response picks coming out from Wicked Pandas. They picked the Bristleback earlier, like I said, and they had a Lifestealer on the second pickup. Or, sorry, on the last pickup, which is going to be really nice. The Ember Spirit pickup is a little bit shaky. He should be able to help them get some early kills on top of maybe Sven or even Invoker. But even that said, it's going to be really, really close and really touchy for Ember Spirit. He's probably not going to have a fun time. That's all I'm going to say. Hello. Oh no, you guys can't hear me on Dota TV. So I think I have to reconnect so I can hear me on Dota TV, because if not, I'll be sad. Okay. Alright, I gotta reconnect, I gotta reload. Mic is muted in Dota for some reason. And that's why I don't like changing that thing. like changing the option of hearing your co-broadcaster, because it makes me sad when stuff like that happens. So luckily these guys are thankfully pausing for me, and I feel honored. I was like, oh my gosh, they paused for the caster, yay! So I'll just jump back into the game, and things should be fine. Should be fine. Reconnect. Hey look guys, some spells can be dodged by using a blink dagger or becoming invisible. Oh man, I didn't know that. See, you learn new things every day. And speaking of learning new things, oh geez, I got homework I need to do. Whoops. Whoops, CulBlu definitely gonna do his homework after this. Promise. I promise the math and the science lords that I will do my homework afterwards. And by math and science, I mean computer stuff. Alright, there we go. We can hear myself in Dota TV. Everything is fine. And I think my mic is way too sensitive now. Jesus, it's not one thing as the other. Alright, there we go. Okay, you guys can hear me without yelling. Alright, sweet. Alright, you can hear that anyway. So, we got both sides fully picked up, fully ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and do an introduction, as always, on the side of the Radiant. Starting off with WP on this Ember Spirit. We see C+, because that's almost a B, but not quite, just very close to a B minus. Moving to his Bristleback, we see WP.Camping tree. Nice, it rhymes. Moving over to his Shadow Shaman, or Shadow Shaman, however you like to pronounce that. We see Desert 99 Eagle on him. On this Rubik, we see Alexi 990. And last but not least, on his Lifestealer, we see T3X. And that ends all the calls for that side. Moving to the side of Expo, on this Bane, we see Nerfy the Oracle. Or Nerfi. Hold on, what is it? Nerf Nerf the Oracle, lols. Which is funny because Nerf is actually a hero, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. A hero who hasn't been ported yet in Dota 2 at the time of this recording. On this Invoker, we see Fluffy playing him. Moving to a Spin, who has a very baller set. Look at him being all manly and whatnot with that free-to-play set. We see TCL on him. And on this Shrek, we see, wow, okay. Let's do Showcase. Yep, on this Shrek, we see Hyena hiding in the trees. Just marching around. Look at him galloping, being very happy. Alright, I won't do that again, I promise. Moving to his Nyx Assassin, who's the last person to talk about. We see Shadow Templar, 59. And that ends all the callouts that we can see. Meanwhile, moving mid, we got nice little smoking. I like this idea of these guys because they know that the Dire have vision. They know that the Dire can't see, but it looks like Fluffy will be going down. He gets telekinesis. He gets pulled into the worst spot possible. Ember Spirit shows up. He does have bolos up, but he's gonna try away from the most opportune moment. Catches the Invoker. He's gonna be going down. Easy kill is easy. Beautiful play from the supports. Nice mind games from WP. And guys, this is the start of this awesome game. And oh wow. Okay, Bristle looked a little bit weird when he was running away, but he looks normal. But yeah, that was a very nice play because the supports knew that, hey, there's Rubik saw, he pinged a lot early on that there was Observer Ward over here for the Dire. So basically what they did was they came over here, they smoked up, and then they walked over here. So Invoker, he had this false confidence of, okay, there's nobody there, and he just casually died. So it kind of makes it look like WP knew what they're doing. Actually, they definitely know what they're doing. We got Shadow Temple. He's in a little bit of trouble. He has Impale, not a spike character, so he will be going down. Open Wounds falls on top of him. He goes down, and the rotations from WP are looking pretty darn schwanky. That's which is a really nice word for that. Shout out to one of my friends from my high school for inventing that word, I think. But yeah, the rotations coming out from the supports is pretty nasty. It's pretty good, and it's pretty well played. So, and also on top of that, between the two of them, they haven't used that much mana. I mean, maybe one clarity potion has been popped on both of them, but they haven't used that much mana to get these kills. So those are very efficient ganks. And right off the back of that, they're level 2. I think they're on the same level as Lifestealer. Roughly on the same level as Lifestealer, and they've been roaming around. So really well played. Really well played coming from WP, which is funny because their name is WP. Anyway, Ember Spirit pops himself a nice little Flame Guard, doing a bunch of damage to Invoker. Invoker trying his hardest to get it off him, but he's not going to be able to get it off. Instead, he's going to be able to go into the ground. So he officially got it off in the ground, which sounds horrible. I apologize for making that image in your face, guys, but it's totally not my mind, it's your mind. But yeah, Ember Spirit, very powerful in the sense that he can do that. Basically just burn you to death. And luckily the bolas didn't hit on Invoker, otherwise he might have died faster. So he at least collected a little bit of XP from creeps that might have been dying while he was dying. Shadow Shaman and Rubik still doing that partner jungling thing. Shadow Shaman rotating around the backside, seeing if he can go get a shackle on top of this Nyx Assassin, which can happen, but he has to be careful because the Spike Carapace can come out. And if Nyx Assassin does pop a Spike Carapace at the right, most opportune time, Shadow Shaman will not be able to get his shackles off, and it will be a very, very, very sad shaman. So they're going to come around the corner. Shadow Shaman going to try to initiate with the shackles. Actually, no. Spike Carapace is going to be coming out here very soon. Spike Carapace does come out. There's a telekinesis. Spike Carapace does come out. Shadow Shaman using his shackle a little bit late, but doesn't really matter. Lifesteal guys open wounds off. This is the end of the life of Shadow Temple. And Shadow Temple's officially down for the count. And Lifesteal looking pretty darn healthy, having all the fun in the world. He has himself, what, 1 kill, 1 assist. 4 kills in total on WP side, and Expo struggling to get anything going for them. But then all can change at the blink of an eye, because there's still a Sven on the side. The light, or their knight in shining armor, or their knight in, it's not really shiny, is it? It's just their knight in rock-based armor, who has a really cool attack animation sounds. Let's do it. It sounds so cool. It sounds so brutal. It's like he's just cutting you with stone. It's horrible. It's like he's bludgeoning you in the face. So anyway, that's happening. Sven is getting some nice farm up top. That is what's happening. His actually the last hits. Who's in top? Let's see. Lifesteal is on top of the last hits. Sven is pretty darn close behind him, but the biggest difference between the two is the fact that Lifestealer does, in fact, have himself 2 kills that he was involved in. Sven has no kills as of now. But even still, I think Sven later on can do a little bit better than Lifestealer. Lifestealer's biggest redeeming quality versus Sven specifically is the fact that Lifestealer has that life leech, which is going to help him out immensely. But if Sven can catch himself a nice little storm hammer on top of Lifestealer's head, and then Lifestealer proceeds to get chain stun with the follow-up stuns from Leshrac and Nyx Assassin, then it's pretty much all but over for Lifestealer. Like he can't survive that much damage for that long of a time. Taking a quick look at the items around the map, Ember Spirit is working on what looks to be Phase Boots, which is a typical build for Ember, to make sure he can continue to chase you with that Flame Guard. Meanwhile, down bottom, Nyx Assassin just doing what he can to keep Lifestealer back in his place, shooing him away. Luckily, Lifestealer only has enough mana for either Open Wounds or for a Rage, so he needs to be very careful about that. If the supports do rotate in to try to go for a kill, then he might be in a little bit of trouble. No, sorry, Nyx Assassin might be able to get escape, and Lifestealer might be in a little bit of trouble because he might get impaled, and there might be a TP support come in, or there might be TP support that comes in. Jeez, these words are difficult, guys. So Handaminas is up on T3X. He has been getting his farm, he has been collecting names and feeling really good about them. And there we go, Nyx Assassin burning the equivalent of a Rage. So Lifestealer, he officially has no Rage. He actually has Rage in a few seconds. We got somebody coming forward. I think this is Nyx Assassin. They're trying to set up something. Lifestealer will have a Rage here in a few seconds. I don't know if they should go in on top of this, but they will try to. Invoker popped a Ghost Walk, walk around the backside. Lifestealer knows something's up. He has his ulti up, so he can't use it for his next creeper that's coming in. Invoker does show up. The Impale does miss complete, so T3X will be in a little bit of trouble. Tornado from Invoker flies. Lifestealer looking for a creep, jumps aside of his enemy's creeps, and the TP support does immediately come in. Shadow Shaman is here. The rotation coming from Rubik, and they're trying to do what they can, but they can't do anything. The creep has been infested, and Lifestealer jumps out, does a bunch of damage, and then runs away.
The flames rush forth.
So sadly enough, the mana burn didn't burn enough mana for them to go for it, but they are actually all down here. They're all ready to go for something, and I think they do need to get a kill. They're going to smoke ink and try to rotate mid to kill this Ember Spirit, which might be more difficult than they think, because he does in fact have his ulti up. He has not used a rune yet, but actually he has a H-Rune. He's going to go top instead. They're going to go for the kill on top of Sven, which would be horrible, horrendous as all get out for Expo, because they want to keep him alive. Sven's going to go all on top of Bristle. Not the best of choices. He actually gets hit with a whole bunch of damage, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. No mana for his Stormhammer. Getting body blocked like a baller. Ember Spirit burning him down. The creeps do show up to get some right clicks on top of Ember, but it's not going to be enough. Sven going to be getting exploded. Finally going down. C+ picking up that kill. Meanwhile, everybody else rotate down bottom on the side of the Dire. They're going to keep going for something. I hear a mana burn. They're going to go for a Lifestealer. I don't know if they'll be able to get this one though, because Lifestealer's ulti's on cooldown at least, but they have to get some setup for the Leshrac. Otherwise Lifestealer can just easily walk up there, because he has his whole entire brown boots built up, which is enough move speed for him to run.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yep, you got something trailing you. Yep, he does. So we're taking another look at the items because Lifestealer Randomized did come up since the last time we looked. We also caught that out. Emissary is working on what looks to be a Yasha. So I don't know if it's going to be a Sanji Yasha or a Manta style, but it could be either. Could be either, but I'm actually a little bit happy to see that you're not seeing like the typical straight up double Battle Fury, Deso, crit, Ember Spirit. It's refreshing to see something new. Which actually might not work out too well, I would say, because Ember Spirit usually gets a lot of his damage from bonus damage as opposed to pure stats, because stats take way too freaking long to build up. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. Stats take a long time to build up. But if you get that nice, cheap, efficient damage, Battle Fury gives you like 65 damage, Crit gives you like 40 or 80 damage or something like that. And then we'll see. Anyway, Ember Spirit, he will find himself a Nyx Assassin in the trees. And also a Lashak. Oh my gosh. Ember Spirit not going to be able to find anything, but he will be able to find it. Okay, he walks into the wrong jungle. He finds both of them. Those are his nice little stuff. Tries to juke one thing, doesn't juke either thing. And he's going to be in trouble. He's getting hit with the Diabolical Edict. He's also Death's Appearance. Ember Spirit going to be going on. Lashak does pick out the kill. Nyx Assassin pops himself a Spike Carapace, and the best gank in the world. Pretty much he came to him. Meanwhile, Nyx Assassin in a little bit of trouble. Vendetta would be up if he had enough mana for it, but he's not going to be able to use it. Lashak is still in the trees. He's going to go ahead and start his TP out. Shadow Shaman not going to be able to find this done. Rubik, no telekinesis available in another 4 seconds. And a rotation does come in from Fluffy, who has a Tornado available, so he can just Tornado and walk on out if he needs to. But he will be getting shackled here very soon. Shadow Shaman Rubik gets himself a nice little telekinesis. Shadow Shaman shackles does come through. Invoker will be going down. And a pause to follow. Question mark does come through. And I would agree, question mark indeed. Oh, we got lag, okay. So some lag coming up from somebody. I think it might have been lag for Sven. Not too terribly sure. Sven having a nice time. Doing some dubstep up top. Doing what he can to do what he can. And I don't know what's inside me. Anyway, Ember Spirit popped himself the wrong abilities at the wrong time. He will be going down here. Oh no, he's trying to go on top of Bane, but if he had himself his shackles, he might be able to get those kills. But no, he's not going to be able to get either thing because, well, Nightmare. That's Nightmare. Just that's Nightmare. The pings do come on top of Ember Spirit. He's in a little bit of trouble because he might be getting nightmared up here very soon. He will, in fact, no, this Searing Chains do come on top of Bane. Bane not going to be able to get into range for his Nightmare. And Sven, sadly, doesn't have enough mana for a stun. So that's a really good idea that they didn't go for it. Fluffy did have a Tornado available, but I don't think they want to initiate with the Tornado. I think they need to stop fights with Tornadoes, or counter-initiate with Tornadoes as opposed to initiate them. Especially when they have Sven, like I said, not have enough mana for stun. Bane being very low, or as low as he was. Meanwhile, down bottom, Shadow Shaman hiding in the trees. Oh my gosh, we got Nyx Assassin forced to pop himself in a Vendetta. He's going to go ahead and stalk Lifestealer. Whereas everybody else, 4 Lifestealer is going to rotate around the corner. 2 people on both sides. Who's going to win the fight? The Lashak stun does fall through. The Nyx Assassin damage falls through. Impale does fly through as well. Not going to be fast enough. Lifestealer has no more mana for anything except for an Impale, or except for Infest. So he can't use it if he needs to. Lashak just killing Shadow Shaman all by himself. Nice little swag move on his part. Well played, Lashak. You deserve the kill. And Lifestealer actually might be going down. He needs to go ahead and get his tail on out of there. It's funny because he doesn't have a tail, but anyway, close enough. Anyway, Tornado from Invoker does fly to disengage the fight. Just enough time, give himself just enough time to actually survive. Actually, no, he gets dusted up by the Ember Spirit. They're gonna go in. Ember Spirit throwing Timbers, Bristleback. Bristleback doing a nice little job of make sure he gets his vision, make sure he gets the damage himself. Invoker does finally go down. Meanwhile, Ember Spirit plus Bristleback are chasing Bane. Bane will be one more right click's all he needed. Not gonna be able to get it. Sven's stun is looking a little bit scary, and it is off cooldown in a few seconds. Ember Spirit is in a lot of trouble. We're gonna go ahead and TP out. Sven looking for the damage. It's not gonna be able to find it. Gets himself a Bristleback instead, so Bristle does finally go down. That is pure damage that Nerfy just threw on top of him. So you can't reduce that by jack squat unless you have magic immunity. You know, Shadow Shaman is getting pinged. Bane ulti is not online, but it would be online if he, stayed in lane a little bit longer. Got a little bit more farm. And Shadow Shaman should be fine. He's going to probably throw like a shackle or ether shot. Just push the wave back a little bit. Taking yet another gander at these items because I'm really interested to see what Bristleback goes for. And I'm actually pretty excited to see he didn't go for Vanguard. Which, Vanguard is nice on Bristle, but even still, I don't know, versus this lineup. I mean, damage block when you have pure damage and also. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, we got Ember Spirit versus Invoker mid. Invoker's trying to burn that mana of Ember Spirit. Not going to be able to get it. C+, looking to go back in. Not gonna. He's not going to take it. He's going to go ahead and run one down. Or run one up top, looking for rune. Invoker's going to go the opposite way and find the rune, which is a regen rune.
Dyer's bottom tower is
I'm pretty sure Lifesteal sees the regen rune. Okay, he totally doesn't.
Zock's gone missing. Regeneration.
Anyway, Rubik down bottom, taking a bunch of damage, so Shaq stun does follow, just to make sure. Just to make sure he died. But he does in fact die. Fluffy might be going down here soon. C+ will be able to find him all by himself. Fluffy does have an invisibility available. No dust appearance on the side of WP as far as I can tell. They're going to go in on top of each other. Ember Spirit has his Flame Guard still available. Invoker looking for some way to get out, but he's getting burned to death. If only he could force himself. Oh man, I was about to say, if only he could force himself away from that. And Bane was looking for a Nightmare, not going to be able to find it. Meanwhile, Open Wounds falls on top of somebody. I think it's a Shrek. Yes, and the Shrek does throw a stun. Not going to be doing jack squat because Lifestealer has that magic immunity. Hyena trying to run away. Diabolical Edict doing some nice work on top of Lifestealer's face, but not going to be enough. Too much HP still and coming out from Lifestealer. Meanwhile, another fight's happening in this area. This is like a super toxic area. Bane gets his Nightmare off on top of Rubik. Rubik does go down. Oh man, no. Rubik does get saved by the Ember Spirit. Rubik does have Bane's ulti. Uses right against him, and Nerfy the Oracle will be going down. Ember Spirit just waiting for the last hit. Not going to be able to get it. Meanwhile, Nyx Assassin looking for a kill on top of his Lifestealer. Nyx versus Nyx. Who's going to win the fight? I think that will be the Nyx. I think that will be the Nyx because he is available. Impale does miss. Invoker got himself a nice little cold snap off, but it wasn't in time. Meanwhile, both sides rotating down bottom, responding to each other. And this is like responsive action Dota. Nyx Assassin got himself something stolen. Impale, beautiful spell for Rubik to have. Vendetta does get used, but Cinchroar just got placed, so they will know when Nyx Assassin does rear his ugly head with all 6 of his legs. Or six legs? I guess you can count those as hands. So 6 legs and 2 hands. Anyway, Vendetta does wear out. 4 people for the Radiant down bottom, 4 people for the Dire down bottom. Both sides looking like they want to kill something. And it looks like the Dire will be getting the advantage. Invoker does have a Tornado available. He can toss if he needs to. Actually has Cold Snap plus EMP used up right now. Nightmare coming out from Bane on top of Rubik. Rubik doesn't have any spells useful for him right now. Invoker forced to go invisible just to run away. Ember Spirit doing a nice little chunk of damage. Trying to look for a burn. Not going to be able to get it because his mana got all burnt away. Leshrac did already die. His Diabolical Edict doing some nice little work on nothing because grass needs to be cut. So why not cut it with Diabolical Edict? Meanwhile, Nerfy the Oracle throws out his nice little Nightmare on top of Bane, so Bane can't, throws his nice little Nightmare on top of Bristleback, so Bristleback can't keep chasing. Ether Shot comes through, beautiful timing on top of Ember Spirit. That's a very hard thing to do, and he does in fact deserve that kill, so Bane does go down. Meanwhile, the chase does continue. Fluffy looking like he might be dying here very soon. Shadow Shaman not in range for Shackle, or not in range for Ether Shock. And both sides do go their respective ways. At the end of the day, I think only a Bane and Leshrac died in that fight. So Expo not feel. Oh man, home. We got a nice little stomp on top of Bristleback. He's in a little bit of trouble, losing a lot of his mana. Not gonna be able to continue to fight. Shadow Summon and Surfing Wars do fly through, so everybody's forced to back away. And they do a lot of damage because they do what, a total of 44 damage per shot, roughly. That was weird. It's like each one does a different amount of damage. Wow, that is strange. Valvo, please fix.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack. Dyer's
Oh, that's weird.
tower has fallen.
Anyway, it's like 12 Surfing Wards and like 45 damage per Surfing Ward, so that's a lot of damage. One volley is like 1,000 damage or something like that, and that's physical. Anyway, Spin finds Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit finds damage, and Spin finds damage to throw on top of Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit's going to continue to run. Throws out a nice little Searing Shackles, and Ember says bye because he's going to go ahead and do something out. I think Sven might be in a little bit of trouble if he does decide to go for it, though. He has his team. He has his team around the backside. We got a lot of people for the Radiant around the corner. They're looking for something. They will not be able to find it. I think they need to back up, though, because Shadow Shaman is low on mana, Bristleback's low on HP, and I think the Dire are in a better position to fight because everybody's ulti that's important is up, with the exception of Sven. Tornado from Invoker does fly. Bristleback getting caught with the Fiend's Grip. He's going to be going down. Lifestealer does try to pop a Rage, but not going to be able to pop it because he just ran out of mana. Taking a bunch of damage. He will be going down and has the next death. Actually, he gets Nightmare by Bane. The Nightmare does get canceled. A lot of damage coming his way. He does officially go down, and we got WP just falling apart right here. Leshrac does get hit with a nice little stun. He's still alive. Going to be going down to the Ember Spirit with his double damage plus his extra bonus damage coming up from that Sleight of Fist. And Sven telling his allies to run the freak away. Ember Spirit doing a nice little chunk of damage once again. I think one more is all he needs to kill somebody. But sadly the double damage did run out. And everybody does run away completely. Here's Ember Spirit running away, or running forward, trying to see if he can find anybody. Nobody to be found. So he's going to go ahead and farm mid. Why not? Taking a look at the items because things have changed, things have progressed. Lifestealer did in fact go for Armlet, which is nice to see. Not just a straight up Sanji Yasha. He's going for a sort of race car-esque type Lifestealer, but kind of more like a traditional Lifestealer who gets a Armlet plus probably straight up Deso next. Not too terribly sure which one he's going to go for. But as far as everybody else on the map, we got Bristleback trying to work on a Hooded Defiance. Not oh man, Tornado from Invoker does miss. Finn doesn't really care because he gets a stun off the top of Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman is stuck in the same spot. He does officially go down. Too many deeps going his way. Sven pops himself a Mask of Madness, looking for a kill. We got Ember Spirit is invisible right now, so he can't throw a Searing Chains and catch two people out. And I think catching his Finn would be perfect, but he actually misses one. Lifesteal pops himself a nice little open wounds. I'm sorry, pops himself a nice little rage. Lifesteal killing the Spin pretty much convincingly. Hyena on that Lashak, trying to do as much damage as possible. Not going to be able to get enough to kill the Ember Spirit, but Ember Spirit does go down, and he does get very low. Or Ember Spirit does get him down, and Ember Spirit does get very low. Meanwhile, Nick Assassin looking for a kill. Ember Spirit nowhere to be found. He did run the exact opposite way. And Shadow Templar does use his Arcane Boost just to end his invisibility. Might not have been the best decision because Rubik just stole Vendetta. Oh boy, if Rubik had the mana. Oh, he does have the mana. Rubik can go ahead and pop a Vendetta. Go for a kill on top of his Nick Assassin. Gets hit with a nice little stun. Gets hit with a nice little impale. Doesn't really matter that Rubik didn't use Vendetta because Lifestealer is able to pick up the kill on top of that Nick Assassin. But Rubik does have a Vendetta available for the next 2 minutes. So we just have to wait and see who dies faster. Spin shows up, gets a nice little stun on top of Lifestealer. His open wounds does get used on top of him. He gets telekinesis by Rubik, taking a bunch of damage. EMP Tornado flies from Invoker. Sadly, Lifestealer pops himself a nice little rage before it all happened. Now we got Bane doing a bunch of damage. He does get the kill on top of Lifestealer. They're going to be going down. Or sorry, Bane might be going down here. Ember Spirit, nowhere to be found. Bristleback, the one going to get hit with a Nightmare. Cold Snap falling on top of Invoker. Fluffy trying to run for his life, getting hit with a whole bunch of slows, getting a nice little bit of negative armor on top of him. He doesn't finally go down. Ember Spirit shows up, helps him out the kill. Central gets placed. Nick Assassin gets himself an easy kill on top of Rubik, but he might be going down here. The Ember Spirit is going to go ahead and use his Sleight of Fist, which makes him invulnerable, which means that he doesn't get hit with the stun. Nice little tornado coming out from Invoker. They do catch the Ember Spirit out. Ember Spirit just moves a few units faster. Invoker trying to move faster than the Ember Spirit. And actually, boom! Beautiful play coming from Ember Spirit. Nice timing on top of that. C+, showing us how it's done. The Steering Chain's on like a, what, 7-second cooldown or 8-second cooldown? At max level? Doesn't really matter, it's only 2 points. But at max level, Steering Chains has an 8-second cooldown, and Sleight of Fist has a 6-second cooldown, so you can pretty much spam that out pretty often if you go for that kind of build. Meanwhile, on top, we got people fighting. Lashak going to be going out to Lifestealer, and down in the jungle over here, we got Ember Spirit finally going down. Shadow Shaman forced to drop his Serpent Wards. They will be able to get the kill on top of Nyx Assassin or Invoker, whichever one they decide to go for. And actually, they changed targets too much. I think if they were going for Nyx Assassin, he would have most definitely died, because he didn't have anything but just a little bit of HP left. Nerfy the Oracle on that Bane, using that Invis rune. Going to go ahead and run into the jungle, see if he can find any unsuspecting victims. And while he searches for his next victim, we'll go ahead and check the gold graph, because that's something I haven't looked at this whole entire game. WP sitting at a nice little stack of 7k gold in their favor. So they're doing well in that aspect. That's mainly because all their fights have been going their way. The rotations from Rubik and Shadow Shaman have been on point for the most part. And Ember Spirit has been getting the craziest of pickoffs. Like, it's like weird. His Searing Chains have been paying off, or his practice has been paying off because his Searing Chain timing has been on point. Moving on to the XP graph, it shows that WP are in favor, and that's quite to be expected. I mean, the levels on the side of WP should be a lot better. I think Lifesteal is level 16 already. Okay, he's close. He's level 15 already, but the supports on the side of Expo, which is pretty much everybody except for Sven, they're not really all that high, or as high as you want them to be. And actually, Sven is about on par with Rubik. As far as levels go, it's not good. Nyx Assassin going to be dying up top. He got solo killed by a wild Lifestealer who actually almost lost his life as well. So a very close fight.
Bottom tower is gone with the wind. Dyer's top tower isn't well at the moment.
Lifestealer heal on a bunch of HP. Jump to a creep. Jumping out of a creep. Why not? Oh, Ember Spirit comes forward, does a nice little chunk of damage, forcing Hyena and Cruder back on up, and almost killing the creep wave. No Battle Fury, no anything. He's going for Sanjiash instead. I think Sanji would be a nice item to have on Ember but anyway, the fight's going to be happening. Ember Spirit's a little bit chill. We're getting Nightmared up. He's going to be taking a bunch of damage. He loses all his mana too, so he can't really do anything. Spin going all kinds of wild on top of Shadow Shaman's face. First hit bash for Lifestealer. Spin is in a little bit of trouble. The drums do come out. The Warcry does come out, so Lifestealer does not get the kill on top of Spin, but they do get the kill on top of Bane instead, and now everybody's going to continue to run. Snot from Bristleback does fly. The Strike just might be the next person to die. We got a lot of damage, a little bit of damage coming out from Invoker with the Ice Wall. Which Ice Wall does do damage, guys. I didn't know that. It does crappy damage, but it does damage nonetheless. Was it 6 damage per second? Because he only has 1 point in Exort. Wow. That sucks. But the slow is definitely what they needed to get out of there. Anyway, Nyx Assassin is Vendetta up. Lifestealer ulti is available, or is not available. He's getting Nightmared up. We got the damage coming out on top of Lifestealer. Lifestealer forced to stay there and take the damage like a man, trying to use his armlet to do what he can. Not going to be able to do too terribly much. Impale from Rubik is available. He's just going to try to use it. He does catch a Bane with it. Meanwhile, Lifestealer and crew do run away. Lifestealer is still alive somehow. Nyx Assassin going to be taking a bunch of damage coming out from Bristleback, and Bristleback trying to get those Warpath stacks to do what he can. Meanwhile, on the backside, Bane does die. Lifestealer using his armlet to toggle to keep himself alive. He's actually in the front of the line. Going to be finally going down. Invoker is going to be able to pick up that kill. Meanwhile, Bristle and Ember are going to try to go all in, doing a bunch of damage. Ember Spirit catches himself a nice shackle, nice kill. Everybody's pretty much dead on the side of the dire, except for Spin, who's not involved in the fight, and he's actually TPing as fast as he possibly can. Ultra kill going for Ember Spirit. Spin wants to feed him a rampage. Come on, you know you want to do it. You know you want to do it. Come on, Spin. Feed rampage, please. Give rampage, please. Oh, no rampage. And oh yeah, Shadow Shaman's ulti's available, so this is a free tower. Actually, no, Spin's here. Yeah, Spin can kill a Surfer Woods easy.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Surfer Woods coming down. Tower going to be going down as well.
Dire's bottom tower is in turmoil. Dire's bottom tower lies in ruins.
And there you have it, guys. WP are in a very, very, very phenomenal position. They lost their Lifestealer, but Lifestealer pretty much has all he needs to go against Sven, really. The only thing that he's missing is an A-Blade, which for a guaranteed stun. Because Sven can do all he wants to just like say, "Oh my man, you can't kill me." But Lifestealer can still bash him through his a BKB from Sven. I honestly would argue that Sven, yes, a BKB will be necessary for him to survive versus all the CC coming up from Ember Spirit, CC coming up from Shadow Shaman and Rubik, and to a certain extent Bristleback as well. But even with the BKB, he'll probably still die very fast to Lifestealer. I think one of the things that he does need though is either a crit or a better source of Lifesteal, which would be, I don't know, Satanic. But hey, that's a lot easier said than done, guys. You can't just like say I want Satanic and just somehow get it. So we got the next bound coming through. Ember Spirit plus Lifesteal are going to go all in. They're going to do a bunch of damage. Dead person is dead. Lashak getting melted immediately. Lifesteal jumps out. He gets hit with the stun. Nice little stun from Lashak. And now Bane's in a lot of trouble. Bane will be going on. No Fiend's Grip for you. Meanwhile, the fight's going to continue on the front side. We got somebody running away. Spin getting burned to death. He does officially go down. And I'm pretty sure, guys, this is close to GG. Nyx Assassin is here in the fight looking for a pickoff. I'm not going to be able to find it. If he does reveal himself, I think that'll be the end of him. He does get the kill on top of Rubik. Impale flies. Misses Shadow Shaman. GG's do come out. Lifesteal's going to go all in, looking for a bash, not going to be able to find it. Nyx Assassin getting body blocked by the creeps. Oh my gosh, dire creeps are dire. They're going to be able to kill the, or help Lifesteal kill the Nyx Assassin. And the GGs do come out. So that was it for that game. That was an interesting series of events. I predicted the entire game, and I was correct. Lols. But yes, there was a lot of potential for Expo if they did get the thing set up, but the rotations coming out from WP were a little bit too on point for Expo to actually adjust to it. And we saw that happen. We saw the Shadow Shaman and Rubik got some really, really nice early kills early on in the game. And the rotations from Lifesteal and Bane, or not Lifesteal, Bane and Lashak, I mean, they weren't really there. You can't really rotate too hard with those two because they had to make sure Sven had a decent time surviving up top. So yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens sometimes. You win some, you lose some. You can't win them all. So there you go, guys. That's the end of this game. My name is CulBlu. I just watched you guys this random scrimmage game of WP versus Expo. If you guys would like to follow my stuff, you can go check me out on YouTube, which is youtube.com/user/CulBlu Dota. That's CulBlu Dota. And that's how you find me on that. And there's also Twitter, which is @CulBlu Dota, which is actually something I'm getting more and more into. It's pretty interesting stuff. Fun being able to tweet people and say, oh my gosh, I just tweeted day 9. Yay, I'm popular. He loves me. And then I just like cry in the corner because I know it's not true. Sad days. And there's also Casters Network, which is a group created to help casters come together, collect, collaborate, and create with one another. And I think I said that twice, but it's also, we have interviews and stuff, and we're soon going to have caster tips videos to help people, you know, become a little bit better, because over the course of my 1.5 years of casting, I've seen a lot of mistakes that people make when they're commentating, and I figured, hey, why not make a video series about it? So that's going to happen soon. And we also have the interview series, which we interview casters and up-and-coming admins, up-and-coming tournament or players, and just people in general that relate to esports, kind of. It's not strictly limited to Dota, but for right now, it's a lot of Dota-related things, because I know a lot of Dota-related people, so we're working on that. So you guys can check that out, which is on YouTube, which is youtube.com/user/castnetyt, which is CASNETYT for YouTube. So there you have it. There's all my stuff. Guys, go check it out. Also, shout out to all the teams that were playing this game. Shout out to all the players. These are awesome games, despite some of the hilarities that we saw ensue right before our faces. But it was still enjoyable to watch. So, as always with these games, we hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys whenever.